time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
ScentLock Technologies,
Scent Blocker,
Rambo Bikes,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Limwalker Game Calls,
Stanislawski Releases,
Copper John Sights,
EZ Kut Outdoor Products,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Hunting Sense,
X-Stand Tree Stands,
Spot Shooters,
Gut Check Indicators,
and PackerMaxx Cultipackers. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on GoodTalkRadio.com. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. And host Mike Adams sitting in the cabin tonight on a rainy, cold Sunday with Dan DeFall and a hot cup of Hunter's Blend coffee.
You know, it might be rainy, it might be cold outside, but as I was driving in out in the field right just before your house,
My residents were there?
4 resident birds were out there, and Mr. Tom was in the middle of strutting his stuff.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
He's in full strut in the rain, huh?
He was. He was looking at him going, hello.
Who was it we were talking to? Oh, it was when we were at the turkey workshop. The DNR officer, Mr. Dan Prince, said, doesn't matter what the weather is, get out and hunt.
It doesn't matter because
rain.
Their biological clock is ticking that it's mating season.
Right.
Come rain nor shine.
Yeah, that's right. Rain, sleet, or snow. It's kind of like the postman.
Yeah, right? You know, I tell you what, yesterday is up here in Michigan. You were in Indiana, but man, yesterday was sunny and a little breezy, but it was comfortable.
Right.
But today, actually it started last night, but today was just, yeah.
When I left down there at 9 o'clock last night, it was 55 degrees-ish. It was about 55, I think, if I remember right. And when I got out of the Jeep at home here in Michigan, it was 37 degrees.
Did you hit any of the weather?
No, not a bit.
Oh, you stayed in front of it.
Yeah, it was windy.
Right.
We heard a clap of thunder, 7:30-ish.
Okay.
Maybe 8 o'clock. Yeah, probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. Hanging the last tree stand, we're kaboom. We're down the swamp bottom, and it's cloudy most of the day, and you kind of look up, and you're hoping you don't see like a thunderhead or anything, but when we finally got back out into the field and turned around and looked, it was like, I don't know, you could see it on the horizon. We loaded up, got everything taken care of, and started out. And now, stayed plenty far enough ahead of it. Hey, Randy Duncan, what's going on, man?
That's awesome.
So
you brought the bad weather with you in tow?
No, I didn't bring it with me. I was trying to run away from it.
Yeah, well, it hooked onto your trailer and it got up here.
I'm not claiming this, man.
I'm going to blame you.
This was nasty
But
stuff.
yeah, so you were down in Indiana prepping the property with the PackerMaxx and Company.
Yep.
And working away with that. It looked like you were actually the person on the four-wheeler looked like he was enjoying himself zipping around when you did that live hit.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who that was. I think that was Tony Gertz. Yeah, he was doing some soil sampling. Yeah, he was having a good time.
Yeah, was he? He was zipping around.
Yeah, yep. So,
did you get any feedback from the guys when you brought the PackerMaxx? Did they like it? Did they?
We'll talk about that in a minute. Because actually, I really want to talk about what you did this weekend because you got to do something. I mean, I'm not saying our stuff wasn't fun. It was fun. I had a good time. But we had a lot of work involved. You had something enjoyable.
Well, I almost think it's mandatory that you do this before you head out. Season this turkey season is coming up on the horizon. Mm-hmm. Whether you're going to be shooting a bow, crossbow, shotgun in this case, get out and pattern the gun.
Absolutely.
And so last year I had one of my barrels ported. I won that at a dinner.
Okay.
So I had it MagnaPorted. So I was like, okay, I got to get out and shoot these things.
Right.
So that's exactly what I did. I took them. Took my wife Deb, and we went over to Williams Gun Sight. Mm-hmm. And we went on the gun range, and it was sunny.
Yeah, I see the sunshine on your guys' face there.
It was a little wet, which I think I don't know if I've ever been there and it's been dry.
That there's a creek that runs by there, and when it floods, it floods.
Right.
I mean, it's bad.
So wear your boots for sure. And like you see in the background of the picture there, we got some targets up. Those were just paper targets that I had a turkey head. I have those also those other targets as well that show when you hit like a kill shot, it turns colors. Mm-hmm. But one thing I liked about those is because I was shooting at about 30 yards, and you could shoot downrange and you could see exactly where you were hitting.
Okay.
Where those were a little bit tougher. I had the binoculars out and I'm looking. But yeah, it was a great day. We sighted in the 12 and the 20. Both of them have now been ported. And I tell you what, it makes that 20 gauge shoot even nicer than it did before, but it definitely helps the recoil on the 12.
Okay.
It's still pretty stout, which I'm not a fan of, but it helps.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. It did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Okay.
So suggestion to anybody, if you're having a gun with an issue like that, think about having it MagnaPorted. They did a great job. So I give kudos to MagnaPort over in Harrison Township. And I don't know, maybe shot a dozen shots total. I didn't have to sight in the 20 gauge seemed to be on a lot better than the 12 was. But whatever, I shot it and got it to where it needed to be. So up to 30 yards, I think I'm quite happy.
Well, what I'm seeing there, picture before, seeing you get your guns laid out, you and the missus sitting there. This other picture we're looking at right now, I don't see anybody else around. Was it busy?
I tell you what, that was the weird thing. I thought for sure, because I've been to a gun range, another gun range that I used to go to, that if it was like close to an opening day of something, it was going to be busy.
Okay.
But I got there, and there was one other gentleman before us shooting his turkey gun. And right to the left of the picture there, you see that's the handgun area. And there was 3 people in there.
Okay.
And he left, I got on the table, and all of a sudden 2 of the 3 guys left, and it was down to 1 guy, and that was it. And then I think maybe there was one showing up when we were leaving.
But on a Saturday afternoon in April.
On a Saturday at noon in April, there was more people over at the long distance range for the rifles.
Okay.
There seemed to be, there must have been like 2 dozen guys over there.
Okay.
But I tell you what, it was actually nice. It was kind of enjoyable that we could just take our time. I didn't feel rushed. Like when you get a lineup behind you, everybody's like, come on.
Right.
But it was great. I broke out those new earmuffs that I bought from, it was Bass Pro last year, the Peltors, I think they.
Okay, that's the ones you got on there?
Yeah, and they're the ones
see
that
it peeking through in the picture.
They're the ones that amplify when you're just talking normal.
Right.
But when you go to shoot, it blocks out the sound.
And?
Awesome.
You like them?
I do. I was quite shocked. I was impressed the fact that when we were just talking normal, I could hear the amplification. But as soon as I went to shoot, it was like, oh, okay.
Michael Fairfield's asking at Williams. Yes, Williams Gun Sight now. Williams Gun Sight Company. They changed the name here in the last, 5-10 years. I still refer to their old name, the Williams Gun Sight and Outfitters.
Right,
that
exactly.
Was the old name, but so Michael, that's where he was shooting at.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I was shocked. I truly was shocked that there was not more people out there. And it was nice. We took our time. We got some time to do some shooting. I shot some 5 and 6 shot through the 12, and they're about the same at that distance. The 20 I got 5s. It's very hard to find anything else in 20 like that.
It is. I've had the same trouble.
And I tell you what, it's a 3-inch that I'm shooting through the 20, and it's just I don't know if it's the gun itself or what it is, but it just is nice, and it smoothly shoots. I just like it. Did
you shoot that a lot before you had it MagnaPorted, or did you buy that and then have it MagnaPorted?
I shot it a few times before I had it MagnaPorted, and it's more, the gun, instead of coming up, pulls back more.
Okay.
And it does a great job. And
so you don't have muzzle jump?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And same thing with the 12 gauge is the 12 gauge just is a mule.
Gotcha.
It hurts.
I see everybody kind of popping in here. We mentioned Randy Duncan, who was with me yesterday. Lincoln Roan, who actually we got something we're going to talk about with him. One of his products here coming up. And Michael Fairfield from EZ Kut, sporting the shirt tonight, Michael. We used their products down there yesterday. And it's so we got some guys here that we're gonna be highlighting some of the products that they deal with. So
you know what?
Stay tuned.
A good comment by Mike on their indoor range. There was a few people in there. Inside was pretty busy, but I looked through the windows at the range. That looks really nice.
It is beautiful inside that range.
I mean, you could not even tell people are shooting in the range when you're standing on the other side of the wall.
You can't. I've actually shot a lot of video in there.
Yeah, you did.
For I do, like I've said before, I do some side work with them through my regular employment. We do the Sunday night segment of On the Trail, and I don't know how many times I've been in there shooting video. And I am just, every time I go in there, I am just blown away at how nice that indoor range is.
It looks nice. I mean,
beautiful.
There was 2 or 3 people that were in there, and I think there was a couple waiting because they got little tables there. They're waiting to go in. And
yeah.
Of course, after we got done shooting, we put the guns away, and we needed to find a holster for Deb's pistol.
Okay.
And it says all sales final. So I wanted someone to help us to make sure the fit and everything. And you want a clip on, you want a belt,
Right.
answer the questions. But while waiting in line, I was staring at this wall of guns.
Was drool just running out of your mouth?
I looked at Deb and I said, "This ain't good."
Okay, time out. Which wall of guns were you looking at?
Actually, I was split. If I looked a little to my right, they were semi-automatic handguns.
Right.
And if I looked to my left, they were revolvers.
And if you move a little bit further down,
Right.
there was the AR platform style.
Yep. At the end was
rifles.
the Yep. Or if you turned around, you looked at the Sig Sauer.
That's my favorite display.
I know. I walked over and I stared. It was bad. I was trapped. I was trapped on three sides. It wasn't good. So I did look at it in M&P, and I was like, wow. I said, I gotta get out of here.
Yes.
She go,
Yes,
they're
yes,
like,
yes.
well, you put it on layaway.
That's right. You put it on later.
Yeah. No. So, but we got her a great holster for her gun. It fits perfectly.
What did
It's
you go
leather.
with?
We went with the leather Bianchi.
Bianchi.
Yeah,
I think that's how you pronounce it.
She wanted the one that she feeds the belt through, so she can carry it up north and
Is it
outside the.
outside the waistband?
Yep.
Okay.
So, but we made sure it fit right and it was good, and just spent almost a little too long, close to that, too long in that store.
You should have just kept getting a little closer to that Sig Sauer display, man.
I looked at the M&P, I had it in my hand, and I'm like, I really want a SIG, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like,
If I took you to the range and let you shoot any of
I've
mine,
not shot your SIG.
we got to go to the range. That's all I'm going to say.
He showed me the M&P, the new 380, that you can operate the slide with 2 fingers.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, it was like, that was amazing. But I don't need it. I want a 9.
Yeah, I've got one you have to try.
I will.
I'm a Sig snob. I'll admit it. I love them. I'm just partial to them. You know, Randy Duncan says, love the EZ Kut. Yeah, absolutely. Randy got hands-on with that thing yesterday.
Did he?
With quite a few of them, yeah.
All
Pieces
right.
that we got. So
we finished up there, and we took care of that, and I think it's all set. I think they're good to go, and brought them home. And I'm going to do one thing, though, is because both of those have one's got a red dot and one's got a True Glow on top of it. I'll probably go buy 2 new batteries for the season.
okay.
Make sure they're with me. 'Cause I
Gotcha.
don't want to be out there and go, hey, where's my dot?
Right. Yeah. And then I was like, how do I shoot this thing with no dot?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Lincoln Roan agrees. Sig rocks. I got the P320 9mm compact. My primary carry now is the subcompact 1911 model 45 ACP.
Yep.
I love that gun. I used to have, I still got it, the P326, which is what a lot of law enforcement carries.
Okay.
I love that gun, but it's a full frame. I got another subcompact, the P250. Love that gun as well.
So what would be like? What's the P320 as opposed to the P250? Do you know the difference? Is it?
I don't know a lot about the 320.
Is the numbers are size?
I'm not that
Okay.
influential. I know what I like.
Right. Well, that's what I mean because
The 250 is a polymer frame.
Yep.
And it's what they call I call a puzzle gun. You can actually interchange parts in and out of it and add a different slide to it and trigger mechanism and all that, and you can change that gun from caliber.
Okay.
Different calibers.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
You can have a 40 barrel and a 9 barrel and
Yeah.
switch them out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like it.
Ow.
So-
I did see silencers in the case there
You saw
from Sig Sauer. I think they were
or suppressors.
suppressors.
I was
Yeah.
trying to think of the thing. Suppressors, yes.
The case of suppressors from Sig Sauer.
Yes. So, all right. I tell you what, we're bumping up here on our first break. Let's go ahead. We'll step outside. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation either about what Danny did this week about pistols or what I did in Indiana or something else. If you guys got questions, throw them our way, and we're going to step outside and we'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible.
By basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back. Second segment of the show.
Yeah, so that was our weekend, and you know what? It was so nice. And then I got a weather alert, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad I did that,
Right?
because I don't know if you heard anything from up north around your camp, but they were supposed to get like 3 to 5.
I've not heard from our member that lives up there.
Yeah, you haven't heard? Okay, I was
Actually,
wondering.
I think he may be out of town possibly this weekend. We'll see. Lincoln says because it's April and we got 5 inches of snow today. Maybe
See, he got snow.
Yeah. He was giving me grief earlier today about that they got snow. I was like, yeah, you keep it up there. That's for sure. We got a lot of rain down here though. So
Well, that's the thing, and rain is okay.
yeah, Randy says I'm discombobulated because it was 2:30 a.m. when I made it home. You're right about that. Man, it was late last night when I got in.
You gotta like that late night traveling you're presenting. Did you see any deer on the side of the road or anything?
Yes,
you did.
On the way down, we saw deer. Yep. Right at daybreak, the fields and the fields there in Indiana, we saw quite a few deer actually.
I was just wondering because I think it's about time they start getting out of their winter
doldrums.
And start moving around. I noticed mine in the backyard, my little sanctuary there, that they seem to be a little bit more on the move in getting around instead of just kind of hunkering down and
Well, and down further south there where we're at, there was a lot of fresh tracks. Deer definitely moving down there. There's not been snow down there in several weeks.
Right.
So, it's a lot different than it is here in the middle of Michigan or northern Michigan. So, didn't see any deer on the property per se until late that evening. I think Randy was on a quick 4-wheeler guided tour at about 45 miles an hour around the property.
That's a quick one.
So, I wasn't driving. I wasn't involved in that. But, he got a quick tour and he said he saw a couple deer. So,
running next to the deer.
It is a big blur. But,
right. So that's awesome. So you got up early. Mm-hmm. You were on your way down there. You got down there.
Yep.
The Three Musketeers are down there.
Yeah. There's Mr. David Boggs there in the middle and big Randy Duncan there on the right. And, took Randy down and he pitched straight in and started helping, man. It was a good day. I mean, I hadn't been able to hang out with Randy in quite a while. So it was really good to be able to enjoy that 4-hour drive down, talk and catch up on things, and then way back as well.
That's awesome. It's good to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. I need to stop by and see him. I got some things to deliver to him anyways. So, Bruce Rhonda Compton, fawns are dropping in South Carolina and turkeys are gobbling. Really?
Fawns are dropping already in South Carolina. Man, their rut must be early then.
It can be.
See, fawns drop. It's April. Our fawns won't
about a
drop
month
here
out.
till late May.
Yeah, another month out.
Yeah, so middle of May, late May, somewhere around there. But we got down to the property and got in and got started right away. It didn't take too long to get the gear off of the trailer, and first thing in order was to get the PackerMaxx
filled up
and rocking and rolling. So. Yeah, we got that off and drove up to the barns all the way at the front of the property, 3/4 mile and a quarter, something away from where we hunt at.
Look how clean that thing looks in that picture.
It didn't stay that way very long. We put that thing through its paces.
So you're using a garden hose there, it looks like.
Well, there's a barn right to the right of, that's Derek Gentz there. He's one of our new pro staffers for Mossy Oak on the gamekeeper staff. And he's a local there in the area, and he comes over and helps, and we're trying to teach him a few things that we know, and he's helping us out on the property. So it's really nice to have some people help pitch in and throw in a little bit of elbow grease while we're doing some work.
And I assume it didn't take long to fill that thing up.
I couldn't even tell you how quickly it filled. I mean, it was as fast as the water would pour into it.
Exactly.
So, but we got that thing filled up because what we were going to do with it is we were going to have to go back and spray our fields.
Okay.
So you can see in the photo there, that's one of our guys, Dan, on his quad that he had, and the little wagon behind it is the chemical sprayer.
Okay.
So you can see the grass there. That's going to be a food plot. The brown is the actual field that the farmer uses, and that's going to be soybeans this year.
So you got like a field on each side of the food plot lane, kind of?
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is probably a couple acres here that we've got that he's letting us plant. So he's out doing his thing, spraying the field there, throwing down a little chemical.
And you used the water from the PackerMaxx to fill that up? Yes.
The very first time we went up there to get water, we took the sprayer up with us, and we also took up the PackerMaxx. Put water in both of them. He put chemical in. And then when we made the big drive back, I mean, seriously, this was probably a good mile,
right?
Away. And it's like, well, do you really want to run back and forth every time you need water? No. I said, let's use the PackerMaxx as our water tank. And it worked great. Filled it up, took it back there. When we needed water, we just kind of lifted up one side and poured it out, we had a bucket there, and measured everything up, put it in the sprayer, and away we went.
Okay.
It worked really well.
Awesome.
So that was really nice to be able to do that. So that was the deal with that. But the big thing for the day, the big assignment for the whole day, which I didn't know until we got down there. Things changed. The plan of attack changed when we got down there. But when we made it down, we walked down into this creek bottom.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so what are we going to do? He's like, we're going to clear this. Say what? I said, we're going to clear this. He said, yeah, this is where we're going to put a food plot in. And we've got a stand site there already where we're going to put a tree stand up. And I'm like, okay. So David was actually there earlier the day before, and there's some old fencing in there, like old, from 100 years ago.
Oh, geez.
Old style fencing where they'd run property lines or whatever. It all rusted and dilapidated. So he took some of that out, started cleaning some stuff up, and he said, we're going to take and clear this out. So in doing so, what did we break out? Brought out all the EZ Kut stuff. We got the loppers, and Randy got his hands on those.
Oh boy, I can see that. He's into it already. He's got a comment here that said, I think a hand pump would be good add to the toolbox. That way, pull water from the creek next time. But does that creek dry up?
The thing that we talked about with that was in pulling the water from the creek, I was worried that we could do that, but you need good, fast running, clear water.
Yeah.
Because if you pump dirty water into that, it's going to get into your nozzles and clog your sprayers.
It could definitely clog up the sprayers.
But we did think about, once we got down there, I was like, anybody got a pump, that we can use to pump the water out instead of having to lift it up? So, we got to think it through a little better, but it definitely worked for the purposes that we intended it for that day. But, no, Randy, he loved the loppers.
He loved the loppers. I see he doesn't have them extended, so he's cranking on them. I see that.
Yep.
And away he goes.
So let me go back to when we started this.
Okay.
We cleared all those trees. We did not use a chainsaw at all. The biggest tree we had to cut was probably maybe 4 inches.
So it's not really trees, almost like scrub brush?
No, they were trees. These were hawthorns, and this stuff was tough. It was hard. It was really hard wood. I was really surprised at how tough the hawthorns really are. So we turned Randy loose on that, and as we were getting things done, we're using the wow saw. We're cutting with that as well. And, as you can see there, we're still not done, but we're making progress. And we left the about a foot and a half sticking up on the stumps there. And the reason we did that was, if you look here, David had a plan of attack. And what they do, see all those notches are cut in the backside?
Yep.
If you put a tow strap around it and hook it to the vehicle, when you pull, that tow strap will slide up, catching that notch. And when it does, it yanks them out of the ground.
There you go.
So we pulled all the stumps out and got it all cleared up.
Jerry Milos is tuning in just in time to listen to how you guys use the EZ Kut.
Hey, Jerry, what's going on? Yes, sir. We definitely put all the tools to work out there that day. So once we got done clearing everything out, making it accessible.
So you got rid of all the stumps.
Yep.
And now
with that vehicle in there, it got rutted up.
Okay.
You're back and forth. Ground wasn't soaking wet, but it made some ruts.
Is that a minivan?
No, that was a Ford Explorer. Its name is Sally.
Okay. Move on. Won't ask.
I don't know why, but that's what they call it. So, long story short, Tony Gertz had another brilliant idea. He said, you got the PackerMaxx here. You got water in it. Why don't we just use that and see if we can roll this ground out and smooth it out?
Well, the weight,
I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So, here it is down here in the hole down here, and I started shooting some pics with it. And I really think Tony just wanted to ride the quad.
9 times out of 10, that's usually how it works.
I think that's what it was.
You don't ride them enough, then you find anything to ride them.
Yeah, actually, that's Derek right there. He's running around on his quad pulling it, but and actually he had a little bit of fun too as well. I mean, he didn't want to stop it either.
Yeah, exactly.
But actually, no, I take that back. If we go back to our picture, I think that is Tony. That might be Tony right there riding that one. It is. But they both had fun. We rolled this thing around. But if you go back here when Derek's on it, look how the ground is starting to firm up and get smooth.
Well, you think about it, that's 400 pounds, right? Filled, and you're crushing up some nice soft dirt. I think it almost kind of works because you're digging in with the V's, but yet, and then you're just, and it looked like it was pretty muddy, so it was being scraped off by the bar, anyways.
Right? Yeah, it worked great down there. I was totally blown away at what it looked like when we got done. I mean, it just leveled everything right out. And going back to this photo right here, that ground back there was fairly dry. And when he was making those turns right there,
Right?
the grooves in that PackerMaxx was cutting the ground and churning up. And it was almost like it was raking and busting that ground up and getting it ready
Nice.
for planting. So
That's good to know.
So
That is really good to know.
So between that and the EZ Kut products, we busted that whole area out in less than 4 hours.
There you go. What are you planting down there?
Ask David. Don't know. He's got
David, if you're listening, what are you planting?
He's got the David Boggs mix going on.
Oh, boy.
And there's a tree stand overlooking the plot right there.
So there you go. You got the tree stand up, ready to go.
Yeah, that was the X stand, tree stand. I think it was the General, 22 feet. That thing is up in the air.
Now, this is going to be... You did seed it, right?
No, we did not.
Oh, you did not. Okay.
No, there's a story behind that.
So then this is going to be a fall plot.
No, they wanted to seed it that day, but this coming weekend, but it's not going to happen as of yet.
Okay.
The problem was we were going to spray that.
Okay.
Yesterday, you seen the picture of the little buggy he was pulling behind?
Yeah. Yep. He was pulling the sprayer.
Yeah, there's a sprayer. Okay. Well, if you look real close, about 15, 20 feet to the right of that, between him and the PackerMaxx there's a ditch.
Okay.
He got a little too close to the ditch and it rolled.
Oh.
And it broke the pressure gauge off of it. And when it broke the pressure gauge off, there was no way to pressurize it and be able to use it in the spray.
Wah, wah.
So he got almost the whole field done, and then he was going to come down and do that spot down there,
and it rolled it.
Yep. So
it knocked the pressure gauge off. Ain't going to pressurize him.
So yeah.
Okay, so plan B then is to do it another time.
Yes, yeah, we still got a couple weeks to get seed on the ground down there and get it growing. So
then that's going to be a summer plot. Is that plot going to be used in the fall as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to get a little something in there, get it going, and then have a fall plot planted as well.
Gotcha.
So,
but yeah, it looks like the combo of the PackerMaxx and EZ Kut. About roughly how big of area were you guys looking at?
Close to an acre.
Close to an acre?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
So a couple EZ Kut tools, a PackerMaxx, one 4-wheeler.
Yep.
And a bunch of guys that want to ride it.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. And it was with 3 wow saws and 2 lopping shear of the ratcheting loppers, we made short work of that area.
Absolutely.
Really quick.
That's a good thing. That's the purpose of the EZ Kut.
Yeah.
Make things easy and cuts up fast, and sounds like as fast as you could cut them, David was hauling them out of there.
Well, that was the thing. There was 4 of us working with tools, 4 or 5 of us, can't remember, and then there were 7 of us there total, and 2 people hauling debris and stacking it. And that's the thing is we shaped that. I tell you what, let's take a break. We come back. I'll talk a little more about the actual plot. And we did things the way we did them. So we're going to step outside real quick. We'll take our next break, and we'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back, third segment of the show. Still down in Indiana.
Actually, you were down in Indiana. You got a bunch of guys with EZ Kuts and a PackerMaxx.
Yep.
In the forest, cutting in a new. Was this a new field? This is going to be a new plotted area.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You saw the picture beforehand.
I didn't know if they sprinkled seeds in between before.
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, this is really the first full season that we're going to be in there working on this place and getting it ready for season. Last year I wasn't a part of the group last year, and it was just a quick rush in and hunt a couple times on it and kind of get lay of the land. But this is the first full season of really getting things going. So
right, exactly, and you're right, Lincoln. It's always good to see the as far as anything, especially in this case, the PackerMaxx being utilized in other ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just not a one-trick pony.
No, and actually, you're talking about carrying water. I was talking with Lincoln, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and he had mentioned that he's got a guy that puts these pools out.
Yeah, yep.
Watering holes. He has man-made watering holes to get them out and away from the areas where there could be possible EHD when those grounds dry up. And the midge larvae sprout out and come out, but he's trying to keep these areas, the water clean. So he takes PackerMaxx, fills it with water, goes up to his little pool, opens it up.
And he puts them right at ground level, so he could just pull right up next to it.
And empty it right into
and
him.
just hits the plug, and he just lets it unfill and be done with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great idea. I love it. And it's a $3 or whatever he was using, but you can use a blue pool.
Yeah.
$3.
Yep. Dig a hole, put it in the ground, and make a watering hole.
Exactly. It's awesome.
Use the PackerMaxx as your water tank.
And that is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely the way other utilize the PackerMaxx. Like you said here, you filled it up, so it was 400 some odd pounds. In softer, those turns was just digging it right in.
Yeah, as it was turning, it was cutting and turning and churning and tearing that ground up. Getting it. When we got done, I was like, man, we could go ahead and throw a seed down right now. But they still wanted to spray it because there was still some vegetation they wanted killed off.
Right, absolutely. So. It's always good if you are in a place where you can actually get in there, spray it, let that die for a week or two, and then come back and then hit it one more time, and then that's always the best.
Yep. So, 40 gallons of water. Wow, Lincoln, you read my mind.
320 pounds.
I was just getting ready to ask the question about, I wonder how many gallons that holds.
40 at 8 pounds a gallon.
So there you go. Plus the PackerMaxx is about 50-some pounds itself. So
55.
So there you go.
So yeah, but good to see. So you did you make it into any special shape, a kidney bean, or did you?
It's kind of like an hourglass type shape.
Okay.
And as you saw in some of the photos there, we left a few of the bigger trees there, and it's kind of what I call, and I've heard this term used. It's not my term, but I like it. It's called a dirty food plot. It's not your typical rectangle. It's not your typical square or a circle. It's irregular shaped. You've also got other things that are kind of protruding into it or out of it, and it allows it to look a little more natural. And the trees we left in there were easy for everybody else.
Easy for you to say?
Strategically left in a certain place to give the deer a little more comfort between the food plot and the stand where the stand was.
Well, I tell you what, talked about this. Might have talked about this before, but yeah, it's also another way of. We'll just take a circle or a square. Mm-hmm. If a deer can come in at one end of the field and just stand there and be able to scout the whole entire, it doesn't serve you any good.
Right.
Especially if you're at the other end.
Right.
If you got to make him walk half the food plot and then come around a tree because he's got to see, there you go.
That's why certain sections of that old fence was taken out. Where they were jumping it and crossing, we put debris so it would force them to go through that opening.
Yep,
Instead,
exactly.
It made the opening big enough they could, hey, look, we don't have to jump. There's an opening.
We'll walk through it.
Yeah.
And then when they get there, they're like, oh, wait, I'm only looking at half of a food plot. I got to go over there to get to the other end of it.
And now I feel an arrow going through me.
That's the hope, right?
That's the hope.
And you're right, Michael Fairfield. It's more of a natural shape. It is, and it plays into the hunter's hands of making the deer work.
Yep.
I can't think of it. Oh, that is one of Ed Spinzola.
I know who you're talking about.
That
Easy
guy.
for you to say.
Yeah, right.
That guy.
He loves doing that and breaking it up into different higher lanes so that it makes the deer kind of work its way
through it. Yep. And then those trees strategically placed. Okay, yeah, it does block off a couple 40, 50-yard shots. Okay, so it does that. But you know what? It gets that deer in, lets them feel comfortable, start feeding. And then is a transition point. There's four lanes that come in through there.
Okay.
We're forcing them to go in certain directions before we put debris piles on the edges. That way it forces them, if we're going to transition through, whether they're coming or going, they're eventually going to work out into that opening between those trees couple trees we left and where our stand is. That's
right.
Let them get comfortable, let them feed, and then when they're getting ready to exit and come on through, then you take your shot.
That's when you ambush them.
Right.
No, that's awesome. It's good planning. Because like the picture of the fields there, you stand at one end, you can see all the way to the other end of the field there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a 400-acre field.
Exactly. So
from one end to the other. I mean, you're only seeing a small part of that field there.
Yeah, just for instance, if you're at the other end of there with a bow blind and you're waiting, and all of a sudden Mr. Buck is standing where we can see, he goes, "Oh yeah, there's nothing down at that end. I don't need to bother going there."
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
That's one of those things, but. It's all about the planning of how you're going to plant it, work the soil and land, and kind of already thinking towards fall of you already got your setups up. Just kind of let them become more familiar with it, and just.
Well, that was the thing too. Is that we set up 3 more stands this weekend. The one there that I showed you. Let me get back to it there. That sits over top of this plot. The stand's facing the plot, and. That was the tallest one we put up. We put another one up down on the creek bottom, all the way down in on the creek, and that was a double set. And then we put a hang-on stand in another spot. So, talking about the tools we used, we got to use, Dan Carr actually purchased one of the kamikazes.
Okay.
And he had it with him. I'm like, let me have that bad boy.
Oh, you try it out.
So, we had the bowl saw, which is really nice. You can take and reach up and cut. You don't have to reach way out because it's got a 20-foot reach on it.
Right, exactly.
And that saw cuts
like
through.
butter.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is. It's amazing what they've come up at EZ Kut for weight and length.
It was funny because I can't remember who it was. Somebody was using it, and they're pushing and sawing. I'm like, dude, no, cut on the backstroke. It's so much easier,
right?
And it's like zip, 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 boom, down come the limb. It's like, wow.
Cut on the. It's easier to pull than it is to push.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I see Josh Hagerman's tuning in.
Josh, what is going on, my man? And by the way, Josh, the bike is okay. It was a connection between the battery and the connection on.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to talk to you about that. Yeah, the Rambo. At some point, I got something in the prongs that fit in
to the battery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't notice it wasn't making contact. I'm like, the bike doesn't work. So
but it works.
But it works. Yeah. And I got to thank Derek for that because he started looking at it and he's like, "Hey, we got some trash in here. It's not making good contact." Put it down, slid it down, and away we went.
Zipping around, you went.
Yeah. Well, I wish we'd have figured that out at the beginning of the day. I wouldn't have had to pedal across the field, so it was easier than walking.
Right. Exactly. You're right, Mike, and it weighs about 7 pounds, the pole saw.
Is that what it weighs?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
I know. I'm assuming because we're talking pole saw. So.
Yeah. I think it's, that sounds about right.
That's pretty good.
Well, Josh, if that's what you figured, then why didn't you tell David that when you talked to him? I'm just giving you a hard time, man. No, right. I was frustrated, because I had charged the battery the night before, had everything loaded on the Jeep and on the trailer, ready to go. And I thought, I need to put this on, just make sure this battery's charged.
Right, exactly.
Just, how you are.
Yep.
So I put it on before I left, turned on, everything fired up. Okay, good. Turned the battery back off, put it in the Jeep. And then I get down there and I couldn't get it to work. So I was like, oh, man. So
you're right, Jeff. Preparation adds to the hunt.
Absolutely.
And plus, with all you guys working together, it's not. I know you get this in some places where a couple of people do all the work and other people's reap the benefits, and they take all the glory. And right. So we know how that works.
When you get, it's hard to get a few guys to work together on a common goal and everybody agree. The larger that group gets, the more friction there is within the group.
Oh, absolutely.
It's even though we all love to hunt, we've all got different ideas about what that means.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
There's different levels of education within that too, of who has spent a lot of time and tried to learn different things like habitat and wild game management and those types of things. And
it's what you want to make of it.
It's exactly what's the experience you want out of it.
If you want to be the guy that goes up on November 14th here in Michigan and tomorrow's opening day, I'm going to spend 3 days. That's it. Going to come home. That's it. That's fine. That's hey. Plus, a lot of people, that's all they have.
Right.
Unfortunately, other people don't even take time to sight in their gun, and they do the same thing.
Right.
We like it. We have a passion for it. That's why we kind of do it a little bit more than others.
Right.
And we trying to learn things.
And the beautiful thing about what's going on down there with these guys is the 3 guys I'm working with, we're all like-minded. We're all on the same page. We all want the same thing. We all have that basic, that same knowledge set.
Right.
some of us are a little stronger in certain areas than others. And that's the great thing about it, because that's where we can start leaning on somebody for one thing and we lean on somebody else for another. And then, they ask me about this, and it's all of us, all four of us working together for a common goal.
Exactly. And
it makes it so nice.
And it also adds to, it's just not, you'll be up there and see them for a couple days. It's a whole year thing, where you guys are working together, so you guys see each other, and it's just not a, hey, I'll see you in September for one day.
Right.
Nope.
I've seen David Boggs more in the last 5 months than I've seen him in the last 5 years.
Right. Exactly.
It's that's what's nice is I've made, I think this was the fourth or fifth, I think it's the fifth trip I've made down in the last month and a half.
Josh Hageman says you should have came and knocked out his food plot. I don't think that'd go over, Josh.
Don't say that when I'm trying to drink coffee.
I'm thinking that ain't gonna work.
Well, I do have to give him a shout out, because the last time I was down, he come down.
Yeah, he did,
and hung out with us for about half the day, and was helping us scout for tree stand locations. So, next time I'm down, if you're in the area and you need a little help, and I got some free time, let us know. Maybe we'll bust over there and help you with something over your way, because we definitely owe you for the things you've done for us.
It's one of those things, and that's the other part. It's the friendship that's also
absolutely. With David down there, I've met so many people that just great people in the hunting industry. Josh and I have formed a really good friendship. Dan Carr and I have formed a good friendship. Tony Gertz down there at Katawi Range formed a great friendship, and Brian Calvert, who has Dixie, the praying dog.
Yep.
Dixie and I and Brian have formed a good friendship. And why are you laughing? Dixie's a cool dog, man.
It's a cool dog.
So,
but no, you're right, and that's one of the things about hunting that does. It's about the sport. It's all about Until we'll see when in the fall when somebody shoots somebody else's deer and you guys start fighting. And that was my buck. And
I want to say something right here, right now. This question was brought up yesterday by Randy, because Randy kind of knows some of the things I've been going through. There's just when you like I said, when you hunt with a bunch of people, there's certain little intricacies and things that come up. So as we're setting that tree stand, actually the one right here, we got that thing up, and he says, "So whose area and tree stand is this? Whose area are we prepping down here? Whose food plot is this?"
Okay.
And David Boggs goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, whose is it? Out of you four?" He goes, "It's all of ours." He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, There is no my spot. There is no my stand. This is, even though we all bring gear in, it's communal property.
Right.
Anybody can hunt anywhere they want and use whatever they want. And that's what makes it so nice.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody brings something to the dinner table.
It's a potluck.
It's a potluck, and you all get to partake in the feast.
There you go.
So no, I don't have any deer that's got my name tattooed on it.
Not yet.
No.
Do that in September. Take a little paint gun with you.
There was plenty of deer down there to go around for everybody.
There you go. That's a good thing.
So no, I'm like I said, man. If I can put some dough in the freezer, I'll be happy.
Right. Exactly.
So,
it's always good to put meat in the freezer.
Absolutely.
So Randy loved the PackerMaxx and he loved the EZ Kut stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if we can get him back down to help us out and work a little more.
I am sure he'd be glad to.
He was really good at swinging a big pickaxe, trying to cut some roots.
Oh,
I will say this, man. I am sore as all get out today.
Well, you worked all day yesterday out in the field.
All day pulling trees and moving them and loading and unloading gear and working. That's the thing, man. We got a war wagon, and everybody brings everything down. They pull it out of their truck or pull it off their trailer, and they dump it all on this other trailer. And this thing is mounded up with chainsaws and ratchet straps and EZ Kuts and you name it. I mean, tree stand parts and harnesses and climbing ropes and all kinds of stuff. And we drag this thing with a quad through the forest.
Well, yeah, you got to.
Stuff bouncing all over and, hey, stop, got to put this back on. So, yeah, it's good, man.
It makes for a fun time.
It's good work. It's good work.
It's good work and it's fun work.
Yep.
It's not like you're made to go work.
No, you don't have to twist my arm for this kind of work.
Right.
So, but I tell you what, we've got...
Randy says he will beg to differ.
What's that?
On that. I'm sure about swinging the...
Oh, yeah. You know what, Lincoln? You're right. I'm old. You're right about that. The one thing is I'm like that Keith has the restaurant's country music singer, Keith.
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, yeah, thank you. Toby Keith's song. I'm as good once as I ever was. I was good for about half a day.
And then you were done.
And then I was done. Yep. So,
but at least you got home and you were able to make it in your bed and rest today.
I couldn't get out of bed this morning.
Well, that's another story.
But I tell you what, let's take a break because when we come back, we've got something we want to announce about next week's show that might knock your socks off. So we're going to step up.
Probably got 2 announcements.
We're going to step outside and we'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back to the 4th segment of the show, wrapping up episode 513. And it looks like our live feed is tripping out.
It's doing something.
Yeah.
It's still going.
Okay. Well, hopefully everything's okay there.
It says live.
Is anybody
Hold
on the live feed here? Can you still see us?
Hold on.
Let us know.
Give it about 20 seconds and we'll find out, right?
Right. Yeah, showing everything's loaded up there.
It's still,
there we go.
Oh, that was weird, dude.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, maybe it did stop.
I don't know.
We'll see. See if people come rolling in and the wheel keeps turning.
That's like at the back at the beginning of the show. But it's showing up here.
Well, I'm starting to spin now. Oh, Josh says he
sees us. Okay, good. All right, well, let's start this segment back over again.
All right, let's do that.
Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. 4th segment of the show for the second time now because it looked like we were having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it did. It must have.
Jeremy Jackson tuning in from Virginia. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a great weekend or great Saturday in Indiana. It was a great day today. My dad stopped in from Alabama.
I tell you what, weather-wise, you lucked out on picking that day.
Oh, I was watching the weather all week long because I knew we were going to have a bunch of garbage coming in and have a window of maybe a day, maybe 2, and then more garbage coming in.
Right, exactly.
And we got lucky.
That worked out really good. So,
because Friday it rained. They got 3 inches of rain down there.
Oh, really?
Thursday night into Friday morning.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we got lucky. But moving along here.
All right, so last segment of the show. We did something Thursday night. Well, first of all, let's start at the beginning because this coming Sunday is Easter.
This coming Sunday is Easter Sunday. And we're not going to be doing a live show Easter Sunday.
Nope.
But we will have a live, a semi-live presence on the Up North Journal Facebook page. What we're going to do is we've already done a interview. We recorded the video portion of it like what you're seeing now. And we're going to release that as a premiere at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock next Sunday, Easter Sunday, it will start playing as it's going to look like we're coming on live.
Yep.
I will be monitoring. You will be able to comment along the way. I'll be monitoring, and I can comment back and forth. So it'll be very much like a live show. The only difference is you won't be able to ask actual questions to our guest because the interview has already happened. We actually recorded it Thursday night.
Right, we recorded it Thursday night in preparation for knowing this was going to be Easter.
Yeah, we just don't feel we ought to be doing a live show, sitting in studio, avoiding our families. And actually, we hope that you've already got your Easter activities out of the way and you're able to watch. And if you're not able to, you will still be able to see this later on at any point in time on Facebook, just like any of our other shows.
Right, exactly.
And podcasts.
So what we're going to do then, I think we can do a watch party if we're around. But, yeah, so we ended up having a awesome... somebody says they lost us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering what's going on here with our live feed.
Because I know the live feed on the left is back at the beginning.
Yeah, it is, but the show here, I can't tell where we're at here in this part of the show.
I can see you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, they know what we're talking about.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right.
It's weird because I'm spinning. You're not spinning.
No, I honestly don't know what's going on with the feed tonight. Maybe Facebook is acting a little bit weird. So.
Well, did you hear this morning?
No.
That Facebook was down.
Oh, really?
Facebook, Twitter, and whatever other one they have.
Instagram.
We're all down this morning.
What happened?
I haven't heard, but usually when something like that, they'll blame a server or a changeover server. But nobody could get on this morning.
Wow.
And I couldn't get on. I was up at about 8 o'clock. Tried to get on. Couldn't get on. They said it in the 8 o'clock hour news. And probably about 9:30 is when I could get there. But
so I didn't miss anything because I didn't get up until 10:30.
Right. And so it was just... It was wild because, you usually don't hear that about something going down like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but... It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be surprised if they're having issues.
Okay. All right. Yep, everybody's saying it's all good there now. Good deal. All right. Well, moving along. So getting back to next Sunday. So we did this interview on Thursday night, and it was quite possibly one of the most inspirational interviews that I've ever been a part of for the Up North Journal. Do we want to go ahead and just tell everybody who it is?
Well, you might as well, because when we said inspirational...
everybody was asking, who is it? And actually, as I'm telling this story, yesterday morning, heading down to Indiana, I'm sitting there, driving down the road, and I'm like, I'm going to tell Randy. And as I'm telling the story, he just says, I know who it is, and tells me who. And I'm like, how do you know? He goes, because this guy's been on your hit list for so long.
But Randy knows us. Randy knows us. He knows.
But I was still blown away that he actually figured it out.
But really, and this ended up coming out of the blue.
It did.
Really out of the blue. And so we knew about his story, what was going to happen, and we've been following it, and you posted it on our page. And lo and behold, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, we interviewed Tred Barta.
Absolutely. The one, the only, Tred Barta.
And I tell you what.
The hard way, the Barta way.
And I tell you what, it fits perfectly into Easter.
Absolutely does.
As inspirational. I mean, this interview is going to take you basically
into a dark place,
into the lowest of lows within a fraction of a pound of low, to coming back basically and onto his next adventure.
Yep, starting over with a whole new life.
And it was riveting to the point where we really didn't have to say much.
No. We'd ask a few questions, but if you know Tred Barta, you know the man can tell a story. And he told a story that, like I said, if you know somebody who is struggling in life and dealing with things that are making them contemplate, is life worth living, please, please, please get them to listen to this coming episode.
The first two segments are very real life. This is what happened to me. This is don't feel sorry for me. Don't sit on the couch. This is what can almost happen, but it didn't. Thankfully, I'm going to say divine intervention, because he was pretty close. And if they don't get it by the end of the second segment,
go back and listen to it again.
Start again until they get it. Because the third segment, he talks about a hunt here in the UP of Michigan.
Right.
And which I didn't know about, but, he's got great things to say about the UP of Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. And he hit it spot on.
Right. And the last one is, the last segment of the show, he'll talk about his adventure that he's going to do all by himself and his dog.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to spoil too much more. There's some other things at the end of that show. There's an announcement going to be made at the end of that show by Tred himself. So make sure you stay tuned in to the very end. Lincoln Tred. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's amazing. It is amazing to listen to this man talk.
And a lot of it we didn't know about until he told us.
Right.
And so it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It kind of left us speechless.
Yeah. A lot of times I was in, I don't want to say shock and awe, but I was just amazed at the strength that he's got. So I don't want to give too much away. It's a great episode. It's an hour and 20 minutes.
It's an hour and 20 minutes, and we could have been there easily 2 to 3 hours if we didn't keep him on track with the segments.
Yeah.
We could have been there for 3 hours, and he would have still. Luckily, he got tired.
Yeah, because it was something that just kept you right on the edge of the seat. So
right, and it's just one of those things that, yeah, you got to listen to it, folks. I mean, I left here last Thursday night just wow, and you're right. It was probably one of our, if not the best interviews.
Absolutely. So.
Jay Gregory was really good. On that segment, what we talked about with him, but that this interview falls on Easter and what he has to say,
it lines up.
Right.
It lines up. So on that note, what else we got?
Okay, so we're going to be here going into Easter. After Easter, after we're back, we're going to have some interviews lined up. We're going to be bringing on another sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, we'll be talking about, we won't get into too depth of them, but we'll just show you that we've talked about them before on the show. But we'll be bringing on Bucks Baits, Scents, and Cover Scents. We'll be bringing them aboard. We'll be having them on the show to talk about their product. They've got a few other products, too.
This is a Michigan company, too, by the way.
Yeah, they're right here in Michigan. Here's a scent.
Wicks.
You can drag them behind you. But, yeah, so we're going to bring them on board as a sponsor, and we'll be talking with them after. And then we're going to get into turkey season. And who knows what's going to happen then, because it's turkey season. And we'll probably line up some more interviews after that. And then we'll probably get into, we don't know if we're going to shoot or not. But
we're going to start an outdoor archery league, a 3D league this Tuesday, but logistics of things right now, just not quite sure we're going to be able to jump right into it. It happened really quick and found out about it, but we're going to try our best. So hopefully we'll have some of that to bring you. I want to give a quick shout out to Tim Cias from Lone Walker Game Calls down in West Virginia. Their youth season was started this weekend. They took 7 youths out and 4 out of 7 shot birds.
Oh, is that the numbers? I saw the post of them. So 4 out of 7.
4 out of 7. Shot birds.
Excellent. I know he cut his show short Friday night because he had to get to bed.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be an early day. But that's awesome. Awesome news to hear for the kids.
So
we'll get them, maybe we'll get him on and talk about how that went and how his season is progressing down there.
There you go.
So,
well, we're bumping up against it here, folks. We're going to go ahead and wrap her up tonight. It's been a strange night here in the studio. One of the computers is not working right, and the live stream kind of dove in and out on us a couple times. I don't know quite what's going on there with that, but we made it through the show. And stay tuned next Sunday. You guys have a great Holy Week coming up here. We got Good Friday coming up. We got Easter Sunday. So spend time with your family. Make memories. Get outdoors if you get the opportunity, whether it's hunting, whether it's fishing, camping, what have you. It's a great time of the year to get outside and start doing some stuff outdoors.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else?
No, like I said, have a good week. Have a happy Easter to everybody that's out there.
Okay. All right, we're going to wrap up the podcast portion, folks, here tonight. If you want, we'll stay on here a few more minutes, and we'll talk a little bit online for those of you here on the live stream. We're going to wrap it up, and we'll be back again next week. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on GoodTalkRadio.com. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Scentlock Technologies,
Scent Blocker,
Rambo Bikes,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Lim Walker Game Calls,
Stanislawski Releases,
Copper John Sights,
EZ Kut Outdoor Products,
Fourth Arrow camera arms,
Wind Sense hunting scents,
X-stand tree stands,
spot shooters,
gut check indicators,
and PackerMaxx Cultipackers.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.